Hi, it might be hard to believe, but I don't know my own name. I don't remember it, to be more accurate. Please like and subscribe. Here is my story. I woke up in a dark forest and got up from the cold ground. The back of my head hurt. There were scratches all over my hands like I had been attacked by a pack of wildcats. Ugh, I don't remember anything. Heck, what happened to me? I started wandering through the woods and felt panic rising. I was losing hope of ever getting out of the forest when I suddenly came across a woman.
Honey, are you all right? Are you lost?
I nodded, feeling scared and exhausted. The woman brought me to the farm where she lived with her husband and their son, Morgan. I was given a separate room to rest. I felt totally lost, but most of all, I wanted to know what had happened. We need to call the police. I don't remember how I ended up in the forest or what happened. The farmers exchanged puzzled glances. We would love to help you, but there is no signal in this wilderness. Can you take me to the city then?
We can't yet. Our van broke down. As soon as I fix it, I will give you a ride. Especially since we need to go to the city to sell vegetables anyway.
Oh, I ended up spending almost a week there. The farmers turned out to be good people. I helped them harvest crops and look after the animals. I talked to Morgan a lot. He didn't seem like a bad guy, although he was a bit of an oddball. He often gave me weird looks. My memory did not come back. I tried to at least remember my name, but it was useless. Soon, Morgan's father came up to us, looking happy.
I fixed the van, so we can go to the city.
The news made me very happy. We went to the city that same day. I was going to go to the police and look for my relatives, but first, I helped the family that had taken me in lay out the vegetables. They were selling them near the city center. Soon, the first customers arrived. One girl froze when she saw me.
Aren't you Amina? That actress from the TV series?
What? An actress? You are confusing me with someone else.
No, you're definitely her. Here!
She held out her phone. I saw an article about a popular TV series and photos of myself on the screen. It was crazy. That girl either looked exactly like me or she was me. I opened a few more articles about Mina. That actress starred not only in TV series but also in commercials. A certain Mrs. Blossom was listed as her agent on every website. I wanted to call her but couldn't find her number anywhere. I gave the phone back to the girl. I had to figure out what had happened. You know, I'm often mistaken for this actress, but I'm not her. After the girl had left, I wondered what to do next. I should talk to the police. They could help me find Mrs. Blossom. Morgan suddenly started and gave me a weird look again.
Don't go to the police. I know where your home is.
I was stunned. What do you mean?
I knew who you were right away. We worked near your house once. I fell in love with you the second I saw you. I was afraid that if I told you about your old life, you'd leave right away. I really wanted to spend more time with you. I'm sorry I was so selfish.
Soon, Morgan brought me home. I rang the doorbell. My hands were shaking and my throat was dry. Was I going to see my family now? Would I even remember them? I thought I was ready for anything, but the next moment, my exact copy came out of the house. We stared at each other, dumbfounded.
Oh, you're finally here!
She threw her arms around my neck and hugged me tightly. Then she dragged me into the house. The interior looked luxurious. Did I really live there? Where have you been? Farmers found me in a forest. I don't remember anything before that.
That's terrible.
Is my name Amina? Are you my sister?
I am, but
I am Amina, and your name is Dana. You really don't remember anything? Our parents died a long time ago, and we were raised by our aunt, Mrs. Blossom. I'm an actress, and she's my agent. She left for a week. It's not that she gave up looking for you, she just wanted to get her mind off things. The filming of the second season is starting soon, and she had to deal with some issues. On the one hand, I was glad I had found my home and family, but on the other hand, my memory still hadn't come back. I couldn't remember a single thing about my life. I stayed to live with my sister. It was the fall holidays in my school, so I was sitting at home and looking through family photo albums. There were a lot of photos of me and Amina in it. I could only tell us apart by our hair. Amina said I used to cut it short. I gradually learned more about myself. Unlike my sister, I had a quiet and peaceful life. My biggest hobby was apparently chess. I was in the chess club and even won prizes at competitions. We met on Saturdays. I found the club's address online and went there. I was hoping to remember something, but everything seemed unfamiliar. I didn't even remember the rules. I came back home upset. What happened?
I can't remember anything. I'll make an appointment with a doctor for tomorrow.
We have a family doctor. He's very good. I'll make the appointment for you.
However, the next day, Amina left for an interview and came home exhausted. A day later, she said the doctor had too many patients and I would have to wait. In the end, I just went to a clinic on my own. A doctor examined me and did an x-ray of my head. The injury isn't serious. Your memory can come back at any moment. You should spend more time with your relatives and be in a familiar environment. In the evening, I talked to Amina. Give me our aunt's number. I want to talk to her.
I'll just call her. She's at a conference now and she'll be busy for a while. You should call her tomorrow.
Amina looked kind of nervous. She kept biting her lips and averting her eyes. Are you all right?
A big event is coming up. All the cast members are going to be there. Journalists will come too, and we will give a big interview. I'm terribly nervous.
I patted her shoulder. Don't worry, everything will be all right. It turned out to be much easier to calm Amina than myself. I looked around my room and flipped through the photo albums again. Everything seemed vaguely familiar, but I got the feeling something was wrong. Then I suddenly came across a photo of myself in a swimsuit. There was a large birthmark on my stomach. Why wasn't it there now? I immediately ran to Amina. Why do I have a birthmark in this photo?
Because you were born with it, but you've always been ashamed of it and got rid of it a couple years ago.
Oh, so that was why. Morgan called me that evening. Recently, he'd admitted that there was one place he could get reception on the farm. Since then, we often talked. I knew he had lied to me, but he had also helped me, so I had forgiven him. I want my memory back. I wish I could remember at least one thing. Don't worry, things will get better with time. The next day, Amina left for some sort of meeting. I was left at home alone. Then someone rang the doorbell. I saw some suspicious guys through the window. They were wearing black suits and glasses. They spent a few minutes ringing the doorbell. I felt like they were dangerous, so I pretended there was no one at home and didn't open the door. When Amina came back, I asked her about them.
Don't mind them. They were here for our aunt. She's been feuding with them for a long time. Still, you were right not to open the door.
A couple of days later, I came to the chess club again.
Dana, you've changed so much. You poor thing. Losing your memory must have been terrible.
I tried to play chess again. Nothing worked. Then I looked around the room and suddenly noticed pictures of the best chess players on the wall. A photo of me was there. To my surprise, I also saw a photo of someone else I knew. It was Morgan. Did he play chess too?
Morgan stops by the club when his parents work in the city.
What a turn! He'd said he'd seen me from afar. Why had he lied to me? We'd clearly known each other. I immediately called him and tried to get to the bottom of it.
Dana? Hello, I can't hear you.
Then the line went dead. For some reason, I didn't buy it. Morgan simply didn't want to answer my questions. It was all terribly suspicious. Since I couldn't talk to Morgan, I decided to find out everything from Amina. But I was in for a disappointment.
I don't know any of your friends. You've always been shy and never brought anyone home.
Was I really such a boring person? I suddenly realized I envied Amina. Her life seemed really cool. I felt completely lost because of my amnesia. In the evening, those suspicious guys came to our house again. They rang the doorbell and pounded on the door with their fists. If Mrs. Blossom doesn't give us the money, she will be in big trouble. Did our aunt borrow money from them?
She did. She needed it to promote me, but she hadn't paid it all back, and that's why they're here.
I was about to go to bed that evening when Amina suddenly came into my room.
I have great news. A cool band is going to perform for the first time in our city today. You used to love their songs. I managed to get us tickets. Let's go.
What? Right now?
Yes, we have no time to waste. We have half an hour to get there.
I hesitated, but Amina convinced me to go. We left the house and got into a taxi when another car suddenly drove up to the house. Our aunt came out of it. I recognized her from the photos. I wanted to say hello, but the taxi was already moving. The concert lasted almost until the morning. The band turned out to be really cool. Just imagine, I even remembered a few of their songs. I was so immersed in the performance that at first, I did not notice that Amina had gone off somewhere. After a while, she sent me a message. I have an important event tomorrow, so I want to get a good night's sleep. Have fun without me. I got home very late and went straight to bed. When I woke up, Amina and our aunt had already left. I called my sister. Can I come to the party too? I could join you in the evening.
You know, this is a private event. I doubt they'll let you in.
I doubted that. How could they not let the sister of the lead actress in? It seemed Amina just didn't want me to come. I got upset and stayed at home all day. In the evening, I turned on the TV series my sister starred in out of boredom.
As I was watching, I felt a bit weird, and then I got a headache. I grabbed my head and suddenly saw flashes of memory. It seemed I had been on set and even said some of the lines. I got up and started to pace. My heart was pounding like crazy. Another memory came back, and it couldn't be. I remembered everything! I was Amina, and my sister was Dana! Our aunt really had got in trouble with those people. They were in the mob. One day, she had borrowed money from them to promote me, and then hadn't repaid the debt. My aunt always thought about money and never wasted a cent. One day, we were supposed to be filming a commercial. The contract with the company had already been signed. When I got into a taxi to go on set, the taxi driver turned out to be one of the guys from the mob. He took me out of town, planning to bring me to some abandoned base, lock me in there, and then blackmail my aunt so that she'd pay them. If I missed the shoot, she would have to pay huge fines. I decided to outsmart him. I acted like I really needed to go to the bathroom. He stopped the car and I ran away. I was running through the forest and knew he was chasing me. Branches scratched my face and hands. I didn't know where I was going. At some point, I twisted my ankle and fell into a small ravine. I hit my head and lost consciousness. When I woke up, well, you already know the rest. I was shocked when I remembered everything. And then I got terribly mad. Dana had stolen my life. I immediately headed to the event. It was time to expose her. At the entrance, Morgan suddenly intercepted me and pulled me aside. What was he doing there? I'd remembered him, too. He was friends with Dana and had even come over one time. You jerk! You knew I was Amina from the start! Why did you lie to me? He grabbed my forearm. Because Dana has always lived in your shadow. She deserves a moment of glory, too. I tried to pull away and couldn't keep my balance. I hit a trash can and fell with it. Garbage fell on me and I got terribly dirty. That made me even angrier and I pushed Morgan away. Then journalists came up to us. Amina, is that you? Why are you dressed like this? Is this the latest fashion? I wasn't about to answer that. I had nothing left to lose and went inside. Dana was standing on the red carpet and posing for photographs. My aunt was nearby. When they noticed me, they froze. Dana looked horrified. The men from the mob suddenly burst into the hall. To my surprise, the police were chasing them. It's about time you paid for everything. Then he saw me and froze. There was a deathly silence in the hall, and only soft music played somewhere in the background. Everyone was staring at me. I realized that if I didn't think of something, my reputation would be ruined. See that man? A couple of weeks ago, he had tried to kidnap me to blackmail my aunt, Mrs. Blossom. I managed to escape, but hit my head and lost my memory. My aunt couldn't find me, so my twin sister had to pretend to be me. But now, I got my memory back. Everyone was shocked. A few seconds later, my aunt rushed to me with tears in her eyes. Sweetie, I'm so glad you're here. Things didn't go according to the bandits' plan because I got home. In the end, the cops detained them. Dana and I swapped places again. Everything went back to normal, and my sister apologized. What I did was terrible. Deep down, I've always envied you. When you disappeared, Auntie suggested I take your place so as not to disrupt the shoot. I liked it and didn't want it to end. Morgan called me as soon as you showed up on the farm. We hid the truth from everyone. But why did he help me find our house then? I was afraid that if you went to the police, you would immediately find out the truth from our aunt. He brought you to me so that we could hide the truth and I could be a star a little longer. Soon, I got back to work. My relationship with my family is not very good. My aunt only cares about ways to make money off me. And Dana, I still can't forgive her. I can't wait to graduate from school later this year and become an adult. Then, my aunt will no longer be my guardian and I will find a new agent. Dana went back to the chess club and started dating Morgan. They used to be only friends, but now she knows that he would do anything for her. Should I make up with my sister? What do you think?